Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. May I have the honor at this time once again to invite His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akuffo Addo, President of the Republic of Ghana and current Chair of the Ecowas Authority of Head of State and Government.
As I was looking for me, the master papa, and was and I feel your marking. And there are quite racist and we don't ask the papa. First Deputy Speaker of Ghana's Parliament, Speaker of the Ecowas Parliament, Representative of the President of the Ecowas Commission, the first President of the Ecowas Commission, Chairperson of the Ecowas Council of Ministers, and Ghana's Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, members of the Ecowas Parliament, Central Regional Minister, Chairperson of Ghana's Electoral Commission, Member of Parliament for Ifutu constituency, and Head of Ghana's delegation to the Ecowas Parliament, the Mahini of Ifutu traditional area, Nyenyi Ngate VII, and other traditional rulers, members of the diplomatic corps, fellow West Africans, ladies and gentlemen. Ghana is grateful for her choice as host for the high-level regional parliamentary seminar of ECOWAS. And I thank the Right Honorable Speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament, Dr. C.D. Mohamed Tunis, for this honor. We are further delighted that Winneba, one of the historic coastal cities of our nation, is a specific venue for the conduct of these proceedings. Your decision to come back to Simpa, as we call Winneba, barely 3 months after holding your delocalized parliamentary committees meetings here, is ample evidence that you enjoyed your stay here. To those of you coming from beyond our shores, especially the members of the ECOWAS Parliament, I extend a hearty akwaba, our word of welcome. Enjoy your stay amongst the people famed for their hospitality. I must at the outset congratulate you, Right Honorable Speaker, for all the efforts you have made since taking office to give greater visibility to the work of the ECOWAS Parliament in the quest to advance regional integration. I applaud the Parliament for the theme of this seminar, the relevance of which is evident in the light of recent happenings in the ECOWAS community, especially in Guinea and Mali. By choosing to address this topic at this time, ECOWAS's Parliament has demonstrated vision, courage, and the spirit to search for solutions aimed at consolidating the democratic growth of the region and help realize the dreams and aspirations of the peoples of the community for a democratic future. Ladies and gentlemen, elections, to use the much-worked phrase, free and fair elections, remain the bedrock of any genuine democracy. And the running of credible elections poses a big challenge to to many democracies, including ours in West Africa. In reality, elections the world over are moments of considerable tension, uncertainty, and anxiety for all. In most regions, such uncertainties usually disappear once election results are declared and the citizenry move on with their lives. In several cases in West Africa, unfortunately, the contrary is oftentimes the case. Recent events in Mali and Guinea have undermined democratic governance in our region. Ecowas, whose authority I have the honor to be the current chair, is unreservedly committed to maintaining democratic governance in the Ecowas community. That is why both Guinea and Mali, foundation members of the community, have been suspended from ECOWAS pending the restoration of democratic rule. These happenings in the region require that you, distinguished parliamentarians, take a critical look at the effectiveness of our electoral systems and processes to provide free and fair elections and guarantee accountable governance. I believe we all have a common understanding that democracy is a universal value which is based essentially on two cardinal principles. Firstly, the direct participation of the people in the election of leaders. And secondly, the maintenance and operation of electoral systems that capture the genuine will of the people. These are two closely related, interknitted principles. With reference to the first principle, the authority of any elected public officer is vested in the people, and this can only be legitimately exercised through free, fair, and credible elections. That is why, having dedicated nearly half a century of my life fighting for the entrenchment of democratic values in Ghana's body politic, the accession to power by any other means other than the ballot box remains for me wholly unacceptable, no matter the ostensible justification. This viewpoint is strongly affirmed by the ECOWAS Supplementary Protocol on Democracy and Good Governance, which we are all duty-bound to protect. The protocol, quite rightly, frowns on shortcuts to power other than through the ballot box. Those who claim to have solutions to the myriads of problems confronting our countries should convince the population to give them the chance through the ballot box to put their solutions to work. Saber-rattling and unorthodox routes to power, as we know from history, do not necessarily produce durable solutions. The solutions of democracies are far more enduring. On principle number 2, it is important to state that the strength of any democracy is very much determined by the credibility of its electoral systems and respect for the will of the people. We cannot overlook the fact that instability has followed disputed elections in many parts of our continent. All stakeholders in the electoral process must work to ensure that there are no lingering questions about the legitimacy of an election. There will always be winners and losers in an election. That is the system of governance we in West Africa subscribe to. It is painful enough to lose an election. I can testify to that. But the pain should not come with a suspicion of having been cheated. The winner should be warmly congratulated and support extended to enable our many problems to be tackled. The winner will then have the peace of mind for the serious business of governance. In the last 20 years, the world has come to acknowledge that elections in the Ecowas community have been largely free, fair, and credible. Their outcomes have generally been well acclaimed and accepted. It is vital we maintain this reputation and do not allow any manipulation of the electoral systems to achieve, quote, favorable outcomes, unquote. The perversion of the sanctity of the ballot box carries with it the subversion of good governance. Good governance should and must imperatively exclude political maneuvers to maintain power beyond constitutional requirements. Let us all be aware that beyond that, the marriage between the elected and the electorate becomes forced, the environment becomes toxic, and the mandate becomes precarious. It is for this reason that the Ecowas Authority of Heads of State and Government, under my chairmanship at its last extraordinary summit on 16 September 2021 in Accra, on the Guinean and Malian situations, authorized the Ecowas Commission to take steps towards an urgent review of the Ecowas Protocol on Democracy and Good Governance to take account of contemporary developments. And I associate myself with the call to you, the members of Parliament, to contribute to this process of review. I welcome this decision and hope that the review will be swift and pointed. Right Honourable Speaker, Honourable Members of Parliament, I'm aware that the initial protocol established in the community, Parliament, gave it consultative and advisory roles. In 2006, following the restructuring of all Ecowas institutions, the heads of state and government of Ecowas, that is the authority, in a supplementary protocol on Parliament, decided that the powers of the Parliament shall be progressively enhanced from advisory to co-decision making and subsequently to a law-making role. It requested the Parliament to conduct the necessary studies into the enhancement of its powers and the elections of members by direct universal adult suffrage. In 2016, by a supplementary act, the powers of Parliament were enhanced to include the involvement of Parliament in the community budget process and the exercise of oversight responsibilities over programs of community institutions, amongst others. In the framework of the current institutional reforms intended to build strong community institutions to drive the Ecowas Agenda 2050, a restructuring of the Parliament to give it the right of initiating legislative process has become imperative. This, I believe, Right Honourable Speaker, will give Parliament democratic legitimacy to assist in deepened democracy and good governance at the regional level, whilst complementing the consolidation of the efforts of the ECOWAS Commission in building a regional union for ECOWAS to become truly an ECOWAS of peoples. To this end, I want to reiterate further my earlier support for the call to elect members of the ECOWAS Parliament by universal adult suffrage. Achieving that feat will mark an important milestone in the quest for full democracy in the region. It will also enable Parliament function with the needed autonomy, stability, and predictability. It will afford ECOWAS the opportunity to harmonize past and present community legislations In a fast-changing era of globalization and digitization of technology and telecommunications, and create a proper synergy between the Parliament, the Commission, and other community institutions. I accept with humility the exalted role of champion of the process that the Right Honourable Speaker of the Ecowas Parliament has bestowed on me during this opening ceremony. It is unexpected, unattended, but I'll do my best. Right Honourable Speaker, coming back to the subject matter of the seminar, let me extend greetings and encouragement to the various experts and panelists present today. By bringing your different skills and expertise together, a critique of the effective implementation of our electoral systems and processes should assist member states to improve upon their processes of organizing elections and the participation of citizens in governance. I remain a firm adherent of the proposition made by the great British Second World War leader, Winston Spencer Churchill, that, and I quote, "Democracy is the worst form of government except for all the others," unquote. We in Ghana should know, for we have tried virtually all the others. In concluding, I'm indeed pleased to reaffirm before you my unshakable belief in the principles of democratic accountability, which constitute the basis of good governance in our member states. Certainly, we note with sadness that the crises linked to the electoral processes on our continent tend to obscure the efforts made at various levels of the electoral process. It therefore remains the duty of community institutions, through constant interactions with all stakeholders, to ring alarm bells whenever they feel things are going towards the wrong direction. We must not forget that even with 2 decades of democratic elections in our member states, we still remain works in progress as democracies. I'm convinced that we will continue to improve on our electoral systems and processes. Out of duty towards our children and grandchildren, we must not give up when it comes to guaranteeing the integrity of the electoral process and consolidating peace through the establishment of accurate electoral registers, the due validation of candidatures, the material organizations of the ballots, and the proclamations of authentic results. En conclusion, je suis en effet heureux de réaffirmer devant vous ma foi inébranlable dans les principes de responsabilité démocratique qui constituent la base de la bonne gouvernance dans nos États membres. Certes, nous constatons avec tristesse que les crises liées aux processus électoraux sur notre continent tendent à occulter les efforts déployés à différents niveaux du processus électoral. Il demeure donc le devoir des institutions communautaires, par des interactions constantes avec tous les intervenants, de tirer la sonnette d'alarme chaque fois qu'elles sentent que les choses vont dans la mauvaise direction. Nous ne devons pas oublier que même avec 2 décennies d'électorat démocratique dans nos États membres, nous restons toujours en chantier en tant que démocratie. Je suis convaincu que nous continuerons à améliorer nos systèmes et processus électoraux. Par devoir envers nos enfants et petits-enfants, nous ne devons pas baisser les bras lorsqu'il s'agit de garantir l'intégrité du processus électoral et de consolider la paix par l'établissement des listes électorales exactes, la validation idoine des candidatures, l'organisation matérielle des scrutins et les proclamations des résultats authentiques. I therefore hope that the work of this seminar through relevant analysis will lead to concrete proposals to enable us meet the challenge of organizing credible elections that are a source of peace and strength for social cohesion in our countries. May your work be crowned with success. Accordingly, I declare the high-level parliamentary seminar on 2 decades of democratic elections in ECOWAS member states, achievements, challenges, and prospects, duly open. Long live the ECOWAS Parliament. Long live ECOWAS. Long live regional integration. Muito obrigado. Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much.
Please be seated. Thank you, Your Excellency. We will finally round up this very session by inviting the paramount chief of a Futu traditional area, who is going to make some royal pronouncements. First, on the right honorable speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament, and secondly, on Mr. President and Chair of Authority.
Owome, owome, hey, owome, hey, owome, owasabrekwe, ekwazibazo, ame, ama, hey, ama, sobeyo, sonkeyo, ama ojimo.
Ecowas. I am not saying a man thing. Nana Addo Dankwa Akuffo Addo. Nana Mama Tinase. Brasha Begafo. Nana Mahim for Nahima. I'm careful as a fomba. Mama was not so.